According to the US and World Population Clock by the United States Census Bureau, there are currently 7.6 billion people living on Earth on March 26, 2020. To visualize this, I'll be using an example from the article, How Big is a Billion? By the University of Berkeley. Imagine that I'm trying to reach $1 billion by saving $100 every single day. In order to reach this, it would take you 27,397.26 years, or you and 304 generations of your descendants if you each lived 90 years in order to reach $1 billion. The US, which is currently the third most populated country in the world, is currently in a state of overpopulation. According to Jan Bruson in her book Encyclopedia of Women in Today's World, published on Volume 3, published in 2011, overpopulation is a situation where a species population exceeds the carrying capacity of their environments. In this situation, natural resources are used up faster than they are replenished. Currently, not a lot is being done about overpopulation due to more pressing issues such as the coronavirus and news sites such as New York Times and Vox downplaying the issue. However, overpopulation is not only affecting you right now, but it will continue to affect future generations as well. After weeks of research, I've discovered that the best solution for fighting overpopulation is to start increasing funding for female education. Since there's a strong correlation between female education and overpopulation. Today, I will explain and persuade you why overpopulation is a problem and how funding female education can solve it. To begin, let's start with the question, why is overpopulation a problem? Overpopulation causes many problems, such as climate change and a lowered quality of life. According to the article, Climate Change Why Population Matters, climate change and population growth are closely related. They add that not only does an increase in population size also increases Earth's carbon emissions, but it also affects our ability to withstand climate change due to the process of deforestation, of cutting down trees and replacing them with agricultural land in response to the increasing population. According to the article, Human Population Growth and Climate Change by the Center for Biological Diversity, they state that every child born in the US adds about 9.4 metric tons of carbon dioxide to a parent's carbon legacy. A carbon legacy which is a person's responsibility for their descendants' carbon emissions. In other words, a parent is responsible for half of their children's carbon emissions and a fourth of their grandchildren's carbon emissions. Overpopulation also affects a person's quality of life. Doris Boss, a student at the Graduate Center, City University of New York, has stated in their essay, Overpopulation on the Environment, published in 2017, that the increase in labor demands will result in a decrease in the quality of jobs. They state that workers who are desperate for a job may have to settle for one with longer hours, fewer benefits, less control over work activities, and a decreased wages. Boss states, for example, that African nations that neglect family planning programs have shown an increase in individuals seeking education and employment, while developing countries such as South Korea, Taiwan, and China, who have adopted family planning programs, have shown an increase in the quality of life and a decrease in population size. Now that we've talked about why overpopulation is a problem, let's talk about how funding female education will solve overpopulation. Funding female education in impoverished neighborhoods is one of our best solutions for solving overpopulation. According to Beth Kinsella, in her article, Secondary Education for Females, a Primary Way to Prevent Overpopulation, published on November 17, 2011, in Harvard College Global Health, she states that by increasing secondary female education in places where birth rates are high, population growth may dramatically decrease by 2050. She states that by increasing secondary female education, it allows women to understand and access fertility options and health promoting measures better. Studies have also shown that fertility rates greatly decrease when women get educated. This article, Female Education and Childbearing, a closer look at the data by the World Bank logs by Lena Pradhan on November 20th, 2015. They show data from demographic and health surveys in Ethiopia, Ghana, and Kenya from 1988 to 2011. As shown in the graph, it shows that women in Ghana who have high school education have about 2 to 3 children, while women without education have about 6. Similar trends have been shown in Ethiopia and Kenya, however, I will not be discussing them today due to time restraints. The first step for developing female education is to build schools. These schools will be teaching all the information from K through 12, especially about sex education and what to do during pregnancies. They'll be accepting both female and males. However, I'm primarily focusing on females in this speech, since the females are the ones getting pregnant and giving birth, and male education has never been a serious problem in many countries. According to the Virginia Department of Education's annual cost report from 2018 to 2019, it cost about $190 million to build a school. The U.S. Education's article, 10 Facts About K-12 Education, states that most of this funding will be provided by localities and the state with help from the federal government and others such as taxpayer dollars. Now that we've talked about the solution, let's head on to the conclusion. Overpopulation is one of the greatest problems humanity is facing, however, one that is being greatly overlooked due to current events and news sites downplaying the issue. Problems such as climate change and lower quality of life are one of the problems caused by overpopulation, and our best solution currently is to increase funding for female education. The study by World Bank blogs have shown that African nations such as Ethiopia, Kenya, and Ghana, who have women with education, have shown that they have less children than women without. Currently, I want to end this speech by comparing our future to our present. Currently, as stated in the beginning, there are 7.6 billion people living on March 26, 2020. According to Beth Kinsella from the Harvard article, she believes that this number will increase to 9.3 billion by 2050. This means that problems such as climate change and a lowered quality of life will increase and be harder to solve. However, the sooner we start implementing female education, the sooner we stop fearing the future and start hoping for it. Thank you.